You know, the government is a great scapegoat for all of our woes. Often they deserve the abuse. These videos often take both political parties to task for not really doing much. The more I read the financial news, the more I really think that the attention on the government is a great smokescreen to how companies in the United States really operate. They can gleefully point out the government as the reason they have not been able to create more jobs or pay the salaries to people they used to pay them. First of all, I believe in capitalism and wouldn't want the government to interfere any more than they do in the affairs of business. Let's face it, a typical member of Congress cannot effectively run a lemonade stand. So why would we want them to dictate to businesses how to do things? And what I want to address here is not the small business or anything that has to do with the minimum wage. There should be a minimum wage. It should probably be more than it is. But just the fact that we spend so much time on that topic in America shows we have some deep economic problems everyone ignores. No, this is dedicated to corporate America and the bigger companies we have. In order to make America better, everyone has to start taking responsibility. Our leaders, us, the everyday citizen, and the corporations. As business goes, so does America. But as someone pointed out to me last night, this used to mean something entirely different. In the not long ago past, if a business showed success, the benefits were passed down to the employees. They had more money to buy stuff, and in essence, live and promote the American dream. Every economic statistic now shows the average American is making less than they used to, so the American dream is pretty much non-existent. In some cases, it's a total nightmare. Why? The majority of the decent-sized corporations now work to placate the stockholders. Nothing is going to get a CEO fired, usually with a disgustingly large payout, more than shortchanging the earnings for the stockholders. Therefore, they take advantage of a shaky economic environment and a large pool of people looking for jobs and save their money there. Let's look how the long-term unemployed are treated. Politicians and pundits try to show the long-term unemployed as either lazy or they have no marketable skills. They beat their chests and proclaim that if they lost a job, they'd be out there the next day looking for work until they found a way to make ends meet. Well, as a side note, there are many politicians and pundits who would actually love to see lose their jobs. The truth of the matter, according to a recent study by the Brookings Institute, is that's not really the case. If you were to lose your job, something that could happen to any of us at any moment, you better find a new one fast. Because if you don't do so within the next few weeks, Brookings found that there's a very high chance you'll join the ranks of the long-term unemployed. And what does that mean? Study after study, including a recent and exhaustive one done by the National Bureau of Economic Research, shows that the vast majority of employers are more likely not to hire people who have been without a job for a while. Chances are that your resume, no matter how impressive, will be one of the first to find its way to the recycling bin. In the end, your chances of landing a job will be bad, real bad. The Brookings Institute study found where people who fell into the bracket of long-term unemployed, you only had 1 in 10 finding steady full-time work. Clearly, this is an issue that affects an entirely too large of a segment of our population. Meanwhile, companies are also hurting as well, as they are discriminating against a population of people who have the potential to be great workers. It amazes me that corporations and our government have the far-seeing ability of a mole in bright daylight. Corporations cannot look past their next quarterly report. The only way the real economy can grow is if people work and make more money. That will help assure future growth of an industry. Do you know what the sad truth is of the recession we had in 2008? Companies used it to their advantage. Big financial concerns cried out they were too big to fail, and the government bailed them out. Then they promptly ignored the government requirements to change some of their policies so they wouldn't get in trouble again. Companies like General Motors took government funding to retool and get their act together, and then they produced cars that were recalled. Corporations took advantage of the situation and used fear of the tight job market to hold or reduce salaries and make people feel lucky they were getting a job. The result? Long-term unemployment, many jobs that pay much less than they did 10 years ago, and a middle class shrinking faster than the Titanic. By the way, anyone notice how awesome the stock market is doing?